The Queen and her gents. Over to you guys.
Thank you. Morning, judges. An influencer-driven campaign is one of the biggest tools that that businesses use to push their brands online. And with that, we were given a brief to develop an influencer engaging campaign around Nutribullet. And our immediate rationale went to balance. Balancing lifestyle, balancing nutrition. We thought it was important also to keep with the brand's tonality, still keeping it bright and quirky and fun and simple and colorful. Throughout the curation that you'll see of the content, you'll still see bright colors, and we're playing around with different understanding of the word balance and how the Nutribullet is smart. Our key message is finding balance the smart way. So that's really like our key message throughout our whole campaign. Our target audience are all our tech-savvy enthusiasts. It's people that like to keep track of their diets and nutrition. It's all your Fitbit owners. It's your smart watch owners and health-conscious consumers and the like. Our objective for this task was to develop an engaging influencer campaign for Nutribullet. It was to create awareness about Nutribullet and to also drive consumer engagement. Over to you, Mbo.
So our social media engagement. We plan to use Facebook and Instagram to drive our content, as these are both visual and informative social media platforms. Now, for our competition element, we want people to get creative. So they must create their own nutritional smoothie recipe and tag 5 of their friends who they'd share the smoothie with the hashtag #FindYourBalance. And they stand a chance to win a Nutribullet Balance. And this will run on both the Nutribullet Balance social platforms as well as the influencers' social platforms. On other posts, we want people to share a narrative. So to share their story of how they actually keep a balanced lifestyle with the hashtag #FindYourBalance. And this is to grow the community of health-conscious enthusiasts. This further targeting and more engagement and reach. Now for our strategy. We used a lot of bright colors, and this is to keep to the current brand tonality. And this led to us choosing our influencer, who is not only a fit influencer, but she's a personal trainer and she's a food advisor. Her name is Candice. She's a very authentic and unique individual. And although the content will live on Nutribalance social platforms, it's important to use an influencer who aligns well with the brand so people can actually relate to her and gain a certain trust and reliability to the face behind the brand. Taking you through to our creative work. Okay. Oh, jeez.
Let's click on the center.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. A very fun way to play on the word balance. In the opening, we see the question, struggling to keep your balance, and you see Candice struggling to keep her balance in her normal yoga routine. And this is a play on the word balance. Furthermore, explaining how to use the actual Nutribullet Balance, which is connect, customize and build, track your nutrition, and blend, right? Moving on to our other visuals. Struggling, again, Candice is seen struggling to carry in one hand a fruit tower and in the other hand her smartphone, which is struggling to keep it together. And the answer on the right-hand side, find your balance the smart way, which is the Nutribullet Balance way. This adding the logo to link the message to the brand, and the buy now logo to add the commercial element to it, as users can click and go through to the website to purchase one of these products. The second image, we see Candice has found her balance. In one hand, she has a ready-made smoothie, and in the other hand, she has her smartphone device, and then the message, find your balance, and the answer on the other side, the smart way. And the Nutribullet Balance, you can see it there, it goes hand in hand with the smart device, and the logo again to link the message to the brand, and again, the Buy Now logo. And on the final product, we see Candice, like in the video, she was tracking her nutrition, but now she's found her balance, and that's the answer, the smart way. On the right-hand side, we see the Nutribullet Balance logo again, and the Buy Now logo to take them to the website. Now, these images on Instagram live as one carousel. So on the first slide, you see the cover picture, and when you swipe to the left, it's the answer, which is the smart way, which is always the message we want to leave behind. And on Facebook, they live as one landscape image, so you see only one image. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. It was a challenging brief, right? How do you make a blender exciting, right? But I think that your resolve with regards to find your balance, the smart way, that is like your brand foundation, was really quite strong. And I thought that that was very well considered because it was trying to talk about the balance of the product more intrinsically, but also emotionally, you know, finding balance in your life, but doing that the smart way. And I think that that was really quite clear for me. It came through very, very strongly.
I was a little underwhelmed. And the reason why I'm underwhelmed is because there are a few technical aspects in your presentation that were lacking. You spoke about a competition. Nowhere in any of your creative did you punt your competition. You spoke about the Nutribullet being differentiated in the market from other blenders. The fundamental differentiator is the technology aspect of this blender, and I'm not seeing that coming through in the messaging, which is the key differentiator from a product perspective. I do see that you've referenced the corporate identity of the product and that you've pulled through the coloring and you've pulled through the big headline copy, but it didn't inspire me to want to buy one. It didn't inform me about what the product actually does versus any other blender. Because what I'm seeing is if you have a healthy lifestyle and if you have smoothies, you can find some sort of balance. I'm not seeing how the product is going to change your life.
You know, I'll also be very frank with you guys, slightly disappointed, and I'll tell you why. You know, last week we were happy, you know, and in that zone, and I was excited because I love playing the role of a consumer. And I just want to get excited, you know. There's new technology involved, there's this and that. So it didn't pop for me. It didn't excite me. Also, even from an aesthetic perspective, I wasn't like, I really need this. This looks incredible, it must be incredible, wow. I have to buy it. That, unfortunately, I wasn't riveted in any way. And I'm being completely honest. And so that's why I'm disappointed, because last week you guys brought it. And this week it was a bit dead and dull, I must say.
And I must say, I think, I'll tell you why. I think if we double click a little bit in terms of what is the disconnect, your foundation, you know, find the right balance. The smart way is really smart, right? Excuse the pun. However, the bridge between what is the smart way, that is what needed to be double-clicked on so that we know what that smart way is. And what is a smart way is the app that helps you be able to track the nutritional value of your shake, but also being able to kind of monitor and track it across the board. So there is that message that I think really, really sort of fell flat. And over and above that, I think what my fellow judges are also saying is that maybe it just wasn't cool. It's sort of like functional. So you're telling us that the blender, and then
Absolutely.
it just was not really cool.
Yeah, whereas last week, you guys really killed it. It was cool, you want to be a part of it. There was a bit of FOMO involved. Also, in terms of your influencer, she's incredible. But I think maximizing on that somehow, because she kind of held this, and you saying she's this fitness guru of sorts, you know. I don't think you maximized her abilities and what she could really do and show how Nutribullet is all about health and a certain lifestyle. Yeah, you could have really exploited that.
I would also like to just go back to the pitch as well. You know, part of us, you know, as judges, is that we're looking for evidence that showcases that you have answered the brief. But over and above that, you really, you know, you work well together as a team. And I think that this pitch wasn't really fun. It was a little bit like matter-of-facty. And I didn't feel that there was excitement. I wasn't really that excited. And you told us the facts, you read through the things. It just let Zakata.
Zakata. And just lastly, for me personally, I'd love to know, you know, the stats in terms of your influencer. How is she influential? Why using her? What are her stats in terms of Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter? Or do you get what I'm saying? How does she make an impact? And why this pitch would work for your everyday consumer, because she speaks to who, what demographic, just such things for your pitch.
You'll recall when you were briefed that we said the client will ultimately influence the outcome of this task. And of course, we, the judges, have our inputs. But the client also is providing input. And the client is also looking at your pitch presentation. That said, the way you present is critical. The way you structure your presentation. So you speak about using colors and vibrancy, but the presentation was very dead. That color and that vibrancy didn't come through.
And something to take away from this is actually that there is a fine line, okay? Because between having the skill, so knowing the the technical aspects of what you're trying to sell us, but also the energy and the creativity of it, of how you articulate that. Because anybody can tell us facts or tell us that social media is a good tool, for an example, but it's actually more the how you do it. And I think that's going to be quite important to always think about that, putting it in the blender and then making sure that what comes out of it is a lot more exciting than just what is in the technical aspects of what you're trying to do. It's a fine line, and as a strategist or as a writer or even as a account management person, it's a skill that you need to hone on to make things exciting, even though the facts are a little bit basic.
And at this level in the competition, that shouldn't need to be told to you, because there have been multiple tasks. And you ought to know by now that creativity, that the how you present is critical to whether or not you go through to the next round.
True.
This is now, it's crunch time. This is the pressure cooker. We're getting down to the last legs. And if we're talking to you about how you present a pitch at this time, that's very concerning.
But we have hope. Hopefully you can happily again and bounce back and do a better job. But well tried, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.